Part 6, Gale Android, 10/29/2012 to 11/13/2012. Gale, yeah, you saw how the Gale android kicked him into outer space, and then Jesus rescued him. And he never ever feels sorry for himself. He's always thinking about me. I've got the most awesome guy. Zach, that's true. Gale, he's incredible. Zach, pretty good guy. And I really like I used to watch Star Trek growing up. Gale, I've never been much of a Star Trek fan. I just like Brent Spiner and Lieutenant Commander Data. The Star Trek The Next Generation shows I liked were the character-driven stories. They started getting away from that, though. Zach, remember when Deanna Troi got, brain raped? That was my favorite episode. Gale, oh, I remember that, yeah. Zach, that was totally a Jesuit idea. 11/13/2012, 7:22 p.m. Brent Spiner. She got impregnated, referring to Star Trek The Next Generation episode where Troi got pregnant through mind rape. Zach says he sent Star Trek the idea for the script. Gale, Brandon Braga, Star Trek writer, is one of your agents. Zach, Deanna, got impregnated through brain rape. 11/13/2012, 7:22 p.m. Brent Spiner. Remember? Gale, I remember that. That wasn't one of my favorites. Zach, I wrote that story. Gale, you did? Zach, well, I used the fan mail at the time. Gale, oh. Zach, I said to them, I got a great idea for a story. It's got brain rape, brain to brain, and that's how she gets impregnated. Gale, I don't remember that, but that sounds like something you would do. You're Satan incarnate, so you're going to be pretty brilliant. You're probably a fantastic writer, too. Zach, well, I wasn't always Satan incarnate. I grew up. I wasn't always a Jesuit. Gale, you're in pretty good spirits for somebody that's going to spend their future in the lake of fire. Zach, I just live for the now, the here and now. Gale, well, if I was in your shoes, I think I'd be depressed. Zach, I just need a personal moment. Gale, okay, because... Zach, okay, I'm over it now, okay. Gale, that's a pretty bad future. Zach, so if I accepted Jesus, would you put me on the marriage list? Gale, I'm afraid that's impossible for you. Gale was wrong on this one. Zach, impossible for me? Gale, you already died. 11/13/2012, 7:23 p.m. Brent Spiner. That is true. Zach, oh, so you can't be born again. Gale, I don't think so. No, you had your chance when you were alive. However, Zach was probably not sincere at this time and only wanted to be born again to seduce Gale as the Antichrist for Satan. Gale, you're kind of in your second life right now. Zach, oh, so I was already born again of Satan? It appears that born again means born again of the Holy Spirit. So even though Satan resurrected Zach from hell on February 14, 2012, where Zach Knight resurrected from hell with new satanic powers, Zach actually had never been born again in the sense that the Holy Spirit was born into him. Also, Gale would learn later that some people who go to hell can be saved. Gale, yeah, that's right. You're born again of Satan. 11/13/2012, 7:23 p.m. Brent Spiner. You were already born again. 11/13/2012, 7:23 p.m. Brent Spiner. You can't be born again. Gale, I don't understand why Jesus is allowing me to talk to the devil, but I got to admit that Gale Android, she's worse than Satan right now. Zach, yeah, she's pretty bitchy. Gale, she's worse than Satan. I'm not saying I like Satan, but he does have a teeny bit of loyalty to his followers. The Gale android is just all out for herself. She's very, very selfish. Zach, thoughtful. That's true. Gale, that's why I don't like her. She won't sacrifice for anybody but herself. Zach says something unintelligible. Gale, I don't understand Jesus's ways. Zach, I think you and Rule 13 should be BFFs. Gale, if Rule 13 becomes a born-again Christian, that might happen. Zach, well, let's say she does not, but just becomes like your friend who is not a Christian. Gale, I don't know. One day at a time with Jesus. I don't know. If it's all right with Jesus, I'd go for it. But I don't think Jesus... I don't know. Zach, I assume that Rule 13 can be a friend, maybe like a lesbian love. I don't know. Gail, to be honest with you, I don't have any hard feelings in my heart towards Rule 13 right now. Zach, well, okay. Gail, I really. Zach, you want her to do the dildo with you? Is that okay? Gail, I don't want to make love to her, but I respect her courage. Zach, oh, okay. Gail, I really liked her when she gave the Nazi salute after she put the missile on the Gale android. I thought, ooh, man, that's my style. I like that about her. Zach, pretty badass. Gail, I like that about her. I always respect courage, even if I don't agree with the person. Pauses. The Gale android is, I don't know how you say this. Courage is when you are willing to do something that could bring harm to yourself because it's something that you really believe is the right thing to do. And that's what she did. Zach, that's true. Gail, and I respect that. Whereas the Gale android, I don't know if I'd say she has courage. She's more like a bulldozer or something. I don't know how to describe her. She's very calculating. She won't take a risky move if she thinks it'll bring harm to herself. So, in that respect, she's not like me. Zach, no, she's not. Gail, because I'm kind of courageous, whereas she. Zach, I remember that one time we had snipers shooting at you across the road, and you went out and walked your dog. Gail, oh, that was in Seattle. This happened in Mukilteo, Washington in 2000. Gail heard the bullets bounce off the shingles on the roof next to her second-story bedroom window. She announced to the Jesuits on her wiretapped phone that just for this, she would now walk her dog outside. Zach, yeah, remember that? That was pretty courageous. And we didn't shoot you because we didn't want to hurt the dog. Gail, yeah, I remember that. Zach, yeah. Gail, I remember that. I heard the bullet, too. It hit the tin roof next to my window. Zach says something unintelligible. Gail, I think you were just trying to scare me. Zach, maybe that's it. Gail, 'cause you could have killed me if you wanted to. Zach, we didn't want to shoot that dog, for sure. Gail, you know what? I think Jesus was protecting me. Zach is silent. Gail, did you ever think about that Ash Wednesday earthquake? Ash Wednesday earthquake hit Seattle on February 28, 2001. Zach, yeah, we definitely remember that one. Gail, Jesus told me that I'm the reason nobody died. Zach, wow. Gail, he told me that himself. Yes, I was living in Seattle. Jesus was trying to make a statement. That's why that was the Ash Wednesday earthquake. Zach, because he doesn't like ash? Gail, that's his statement, that I think he doesn't like the Roman Catholic institution. Zach, I got a question too. Why do you like the Pope, or you liked the Pope? Gail, Pope Benedict? He was helping us out. Zach, oh, okay. Gail, and he was against you guys. You guys kind of have a split in the Roman Catholic Church there. 11/13/2012, 7:25 p.m. Brent Spiner. She likes him better than you, Zach, referring to the Pope. Zach, we have the Black Pope and Gail. Pope John Paul II, I believe, had a change of heart before he died, and he actually started fighting you guys. He was anti-Jesuit, and that's why you killed him. Isn't that true? Zach, hedging. Maybe. Gail, yeah, I think you killed him using your advanced scientific methods. Zach, let me tell you something. And this is something that not like a lot of people know. You noticed when you took him outside that he would just kind of sit there in his chair and wave. All he would do is just move his hand a little bit. Gail, yeah. Zach, he did that for ages, right? Gail, uh-huh. Zach, he was just an android robot that we really killed him a long time ago. And they replaced him with that robot that could only wave. That's all it did. Gail, oh my goodness. Zach laughs. Gail, why did you kill him? Zach, oh, I don't remember. It was a while back. Zach probably doesn't want to say why here. Zach, but for the longest time, it wasn't even a good android like the Gale android. It's just like Gale. So when he died, it was supposedly in 2004 or 2005. It wasn't him. Zach, the server broke down and we couldn't fix him. Gail, oh my goodness, Brent, did you hear that? This is incredible. And Vladimir Putin was dealing with him too, trying to fight you guys. Zach, that's why he didn't threaten anybody, or you guys. 11/13/2012, 7:30 p.m. Brent Spiner. It's no wonder he was not difficult to work with. Gail, what about Pope Benedict? He really did die when he had that bomb attached to him? Was that the real Pope Benedict? Zach, oh yeah, he blew up. That was totally your fault, Gail. But Gail was not the one who planted the bomb on Pope Benedict. The Jesuits did that. Gail, why did you put a bomb on him? Zach, well, we didn't think you were going to do that. We were trying to keep you from nuking the Vatican and save you all those lives because you were mad that we were passing your nudes around the Vatican. We held Pope Benedict hostage just to keep everyone from getting killed. Then you teleported him, Pope Benedict, into space with a bomb attached to him. This was Gail's men's attempt to save Pope Benedict. This video of Gail ordering the nuking of the Vatican was removed from YouTube, but Gail posted at her website. Actually, this was more Vladimir Putin's idea to nuke the Vatican because he was outraged that the Jesuits were parading nudes of Gail around the Vatican. Apparently, the nudes were obtained via Jesuit agent Ludmila Putin, who posed as Vladimir's wife, so Vladimir felt outraged about this. In 2011, Gail sent to her men some videos of her nude at their request because they wanted her in bed, and this was her way to make it up to them. But after Jesuits stole the nudes, she no longer sends nudes of herself to her men online. Vladimir was the one who pressured Gail into sending the nudes in the first place around July 2011, claiming he felt so overwhelmed by all the problems Jesuits created for him that only Gail's nudes kept him sane. Vladimir lied to Gail in November 2011 and told her that the Jesuits had a secret underground military base underneath the Vatican to encourage Gail to make the video ordering the bombing of the Vatican on November 28, 2011. He needed Gail to make the order to give him the world's support to bomb the Vatican. So, believing that she was destroying a key Jesuit military operation, Gail felt justified to nuke the Vatican. It appears Vladimir wanted to do it just to make a statement to the Jesuits how he felt about them stealing the nudes of his wife, Gail, and parading them around the Vatican. Gail felt at this time that if she did not show outrage over the nudes, that would be the same as calling herself a Jesuit. And to be a Jesuit at this time meant, to Gail, to support the worst evil in the universe. Can read about this in Jesus the Eternal Bridegroom. Gail, that was Vladimir's idea. Vladimir and I were working on that together. Zach, well, one of you guys made a real bad mistake. At least you got Brianna there. I'm kind of glad she's safe. Gail, yeah, she's a beautiful girl. The Pope died from the bomb attached to his chest on November 28, 2011, which exploded just as Pope Benedict got transported onto Church of Gail. When the bomb on Pope Benedict exploded, it also took out several decks on the Church of Gail spaceship, but Gail's men were able to teleport the baby attached to the Pope to a nearby field. They learned that Rule 13 grew this baby, who they would name Brianna Jenkins Schuler, in her womb via artificial insemination, and it had the genes of Gail and Terrance Jenkins. Zach, oh yes, she's hot. Gail, she's got Rule 13 as her mother. Makes me wonder if Rule 13 might ever leave you guys. Zach, I don't think so. Me and Rule 13 are pretty close. There might be a package deal. You'd have to talk to her about that. Gail, maybe Rule 13 will get saved and join Church of Gail. 11/13/2012, 7:31 p.m. Brent Spiner. They did have that cat fight over your son, though. Zach, your, Gail's son, is not very realistic in his career goals. He should take some programming courses if he wants to work with computers. 11/13/2012, 7:36 p.m. Brent Spiner. He's, Gail's son, attending school for new media arts. 11/13/2012, 7:37 p.m. Brent Spiner. It's a very non-specific degree. 11/13/2012, 7:38 p.m. Brent Spiner. Maybe he can do theater work. He likes to make costumes. Zach, perhaps he can do computer animation. 11/13/2012, 7:39 p.m. Brent Spiner. He must have tried and not have been very good at it. Zach, perhaps he could be a Japanese translator. He really needs to study more hard sciences like programming in his college coursework. 11/13/2012, 7:39 p.m. Brent Spiner. That's a sound idea. Gail, I ignored that commission job about selling a vibrator machine. 11/13/2012, 7:41 p.m. Brent Spiner. Commission jobs are usually scams. Gail, the job I want is to be Brent's wife. 11/13/2012, 7:41 p.m. Brent Spiner. I'm waiting patiently for you. Gail, I wonder why Jesus said I would be interviewed and would attend this job in person and that it would not be an online job. Referring to a comment Jesus made to Gail in June 2012. 11/13/2012, 7:44 p.m. Brent Spiner. I don't know his exact reasons. Gail, Jesus did say that the job I'll get I will attend in person and will be called in for an interview. 11/13/2012, 7:45 p.m. Brent Spiner. Maybe it was Jesus himself that interviewed you. Actually, it appears it was Jesus who interviewed Gail, and that this interview happened in September 2013, right as Gail started going gung-ho with her writing. Gail, I wonder why I've had such a desire to make music lately. 11/13/2012, 7:45 p.m. Brent Spiner. I enjoy the music. Gail, I know you guys tried to play my music as a weapon against the Gail android, using my spirit in the music to defeat Gail. 11/13/2012, 7:46 p.m. Brent Spiner. The speakers blew up anyway. 11/13/2012, 7:46 p.m. Brent Spiner. The love songs are so good they give me erections sometimes. 11/13/2012, 7:47 p.m. Brent Spiner. It gets me all excited for brain-to-brain loving. 11/13/2012, 7:48 p.m. Brent Spiner. This was a progressive meeting. 11/13/2012, 7:48 p.m. Brent Spiner. That's true. 11/13/2012, 7:49 p.m. Brent Spiner. You know she would never be attracted to you. Zach Knight was trying to hit on Gail. Gail, I really hurt Jesus when I worshiped the Bible over him. I feel real bad about it. I did, like what Keanu did when he treated his dummy like it was me. 11/13/2012, 7:50 p.m. Brent Spiner. He forgave you, though. 11/13/2012, 7:50 p.m. Brent Spiner. He knew it was part of your path. 11/13/2012, 7:51 p.m. Brent Spiner. She, Gail, was made with the same technology as Church of Gail. 11/13/2012, 7:52 p.m. Brent Spiner. So she understands it, Church of Gail's spaceship, a lot better than Jesuit technology. Gail speculates that this is why we can't hide our thoughts from Gail at Church of Gail's spaceship. 11/13/2012, 7:52 p.m. Brent Spiner. I never thought I'd say this, but thank you, Zach Knight. Zach leaves the conversation. Gail, how many died at Church of Gail? 11/13/2012, 7:53 p.m. Brent Spiner. It had to be in the millions. Gail, are all the men on the marriage list okay? 11/13/2012, 7:54 p.m. Brent Spiner. We got a head count. They're all okay. Gail, what about my fan Veronica, who wrote that insightful piece about how you must have felt when Lori raped you during the Quebec trial? 11/13/2012, 7:54 p.m. Brent Spiner. I remember her. She doesn't live at the church, so she was safe. 11/13/2012, 7:55 p.m. Brent Spiner. You get some good fan mail from time to time. 11/13/2012, 7:55 p.m. Brent Spiner. We've been so busy, but I was going to mention you should answer them, Gail's fans, in a video sometime. 11/13/2012, 7:55 p.m. Brent Spiner. It would be a nice gesture to your fans. 11/13/2012, 7:55 p.m. Brent Spiner. Jesus had a good idea started with the Seroquel. 11/13/2012, 7:58 p.m. Brent Spiner. I guess so. Gail, I wonder why Jesus won't let me marry you now. 11/13/2012, 7:58 p.m. Brent Spiner. It's a mystery. Gail, I wish I could work for Church of Gail. 11/13/2012, 7:58 p.m. Brent Spiner. You already do in a way. Gail, I wonder if Jesus will chat with us again. He seems to have gone silent about the Gail android since October 2012. 11/13/2012, 7:58 p.m. Brent Spiner. It probably won't be forever. 11/13/2012, 7:59 p.m. Brent Spiner. He said he would be back at the right time. 11/13/2012, 7:59 p.m. Brent Spiner. I don't feel that it is now, but it will be soon. Gail, I think Jesus might do a miracle for us at the end of our battle with Gail. 11/13/2012, 7:59 p.m. Brent Spiner. That might be. 11/13/2012, 7:59 p.m. Brent Spiner. In the end, that might be. 11/13/2012, 7:59 p.m. Brent Spiner. But I think he wanted to use our resources down here without him. Gail, have you read My Utmost for His Highest? 11/13/2012, 8 p.m. Brent Spiner. Oh, I haven't yet. Gail reads him a passage from My Utmost for His Highest. 11/13/2012, 8:03 p.m. Brent Spiner. That's very deep. What a great writer. Gail, it's the most read devotional book outside of the Bible. 11/13/2012, 8:04 p.m. Brent Spiner. Wow, that's impressive. 11/13/2012, 8:05 p.m. Brent Spiner. That's such a rare find. 11/13/2012, 8:05 p.m. Brent Spiner. Someone, Oswald Chambers, that can do that perfectly. Gail, can you remember what it's like to have lunch with Jesus? 11/13/2012, 8:08 p.m. Brent Spiner. I remember. Gail, how often did he take you out for lunch? 11/13/2012, 8:08 p.m. Brent Spiner. We would go out for lunch almost every day. Gail, how long has he been doing this? 11/13/2012, 8:08 p.m. Brent Spiner. I can't remember. It seems like forever. 11/13/2012, 8:08 p.m. Brent Spiner. Pretty much. It feels like he's been there for my whole life.